Hey, what's up, everyone? I want to welcome you guys to another episode of DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. I want to give you guys a fresh perspective on things than I always see it. I almost lost my footing here on the intro because I have other shows, so I almost kind of messed up there. But anyway, let's get into this topic here. So as you guys know, about a year or so ago, was it this year or last year? I think it was last year. The thing went down when LeBron James ran down on Stephen A. Smith at the Lakers game. Everybody was talking about it. Right, and no one spoke about it more than Stephen A. Smith himself. My God, did Stephen A. Smith milk the hell out of that story, right? But apparently, the story was Stephen A. Smith on ESPN First Take after Bronny got destroyed by Tyrese Maxey was basically imploring LeBron, like, why are you putting your son in this position, man, and all of that. And then LeBron took offense to that. As of course, parents are going to take offense to things, man. It just is what it is. You say something about somebody's kid, it's a problem. You know what I mean? It's a problem. So LeBron took offense to that. He ran down on Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith didn't really have a chance to respond to him in the moment. Stephen A. Smith said if LeBron would have put his hands on him, he would have swung and all the shenanigans with it, right? All the shenanigans with it. But at the same time, you do know Kevin Gates also has some words for LeBron. And not only LeBron, his wife. Kevin Gates was talking hella spicy about LeBron, and then son showed up at the Lakers game in front row with his shirt half open, chains shining, like, what up? You ran down on dude, run down on me. And he ain't want no smoke with him. Like, that's a fact. These are the facts. Because you knew Kevin Gates was like, come on, you knew that, right? But anyway, Skip Bayless recently did an interview with Vlad TV, and Vlad asked him this very question, like, yo, Skip, what did you think about when you saw LeBron James run down on Stephen A. Smith at the Lakers game? And Skip basically called, he's like, yo, that's a sucker move. Like, that's what sucker, you ran down on him and you knew he couldn't do nothing. I'm like, whew, Skip is with the you know what. But before we get into what Skip had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. All right, guys, the playoff push is heating up. Tournament hoops are here. The Masters is underway, and the NBA playoffs are right around the corner. There's no better way to cash in if you're right on all of this action than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. So I jumped into their team picks feature, and honestly, I had no idea why I waited this long. First time I tried it, I was picking game winners on some of these games. Came out right on my first one, and watching the game just hit completely different after that. And here's what I love. On top of the players' picks you already know, you can now pick game winners, spreads, and totals. You can even call who wins the championship or takes home the MVP. Mix and match across basketball, baseball, hockey, golf, all in the same app. And if your picks get off to a hot start, you can cash out early before the game even ends. Now download the Prize Picks app today, pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoff push rolls on, and get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. That's code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, cool. So what we want to do is we want to play what Skip Bayless had to say about this, and we're going to come back and keep these jokes rolling and take a listen to what Skip Bayless had to say.
What did you think about the whole confrontation with LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith, considering your history with both of them?
Well, I'm not a LeBron fan, so it didn't surprise me. I didn't like it. I didn't like the ambush side of it, that this happened during a play stoppage. It was a dead ball situation, so it's finite. It's the clock's ticking, and it appeared to me that LeBron didn't know. I should put it this way. LeBron knew that the clock was ticking where Stephen A. wouldn't have time to respond to him. So it's just a blindside situation where he goes and said something to him about, don't talk about my son in the basketball context, that whatever Stephen A. said about being critical of Bronny. And Stephen A. didn't have a chance to respond because plays started and LeBron wheels and has to go play basketball. So I thought it was, weak on LeBron's part.
I think Stephen A. said that if LeBron had put his hands on him, that he would have punched him. And he would have lost afterwards, but still, he would have. You would have punched him. That would have been an interesting thing to see.
Yeah, I think Stephen A would have lost to 6'9", 260.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
As much as I think Stephen A could defend himself, I'm not sure he could win that one.
No, I don't think so.
Great. So you heard what Skip had to say. What are my thoughts about this? You know, Skip, I think Skip was the one that called LeBron a B. He called up, Skip Bayless is not feeling LeBron James at all, man. He be having the ultimate smoke for this dude, bro. He don't be holding back nothing when it comes to LeBron. He really thinks this dude is a sucker. He said it himself. I think he said it on Gil's Arena. He said it on Gil's Arena. Nobody ain't say bleep. Nothing. And for LeBron to run down on Kevin Gates, on Stephen A. Smith for saying what he said about, son, dude says something about your wife, bro. That's an automatic fade right there and then. Nobody would have got upset with LeBron if he got into a fight with Kevin Gates. Nobody. Everyone would have defended LeBron James in that moment. Everyone. Because they'd be like, he's defending his wife. Everyone would have. And the part I don't get, isn't LeBron like 6'9", 270 or whatever the hell, 260 or whatever the hell it is? Like, I'm confused. You know what's funny? When I was in high school, there was a kid that was taller than like everybody, right? And he was like 6'3" or something like that. And I forgot who it was. And he was like, he's 6'3", but UPUS, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, damn. And it was true. He had all of that height for nothing. There was nothing in there. Just a bunch of Pop-Tarts and gummy bears. Like, nothing there, man. Just pumping sweet, gushy sweetness through the veins, bro. And I was like, damn, like, son, what's gonna happen? Kevin Gates gonna whoop your ass? Like, I don't know. But Skip Bayless is diabolical. We have to give Skip his flowers when it comes to that. He's diabolical, bro. I think Skip Bayless is the kind of person to run down on LeBron James. Dead ass. Look him, try to like look and start talking crazy to him. I'm dead serious. Skip Bayless would fight LeBron. I'm not even joking. He looked like the kind of person that would do that. That's how much he doesn't believe that dude is a G. He called him a B, bro. A B. B-I-T-C-H. He called him that. Who remembers that he called him that? I was like, what? I'm not a LeBron fan. I would never call him that. That's super violation. I'm not a fan of his by any stretch of the imagination, but I would never violate LeBron James to that extent. Skip did. It is crazy. Skip ain't got no chill button whatsoever. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you guys on the next show and I'm out. Peace.